Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the series of e-lectures for IDA subject. Last class we had started with the stepper motor drives, where we had seen a basic working principle of stepper motor, right, and the variable reluctance type of motor. Today we'll be moving ahead with part 2, where we'll be dealing with the second type of stepper motor, which is a permanent magnet motor, right. So at the end, you go through the video. If you have any doubts, you can get back to me with the mail ID provided, right. So we'll move ahead. So starting with permanent magnet stepper motor, right. So this is the figure which shows the phases or stacks of a two-phase 4-pole permanent magnet stepper motor. The rotor is made up of ferrite or rare earth material which is permanently magnetized. Okay, so this is regarding the material used to make the rotor, right. So the stator stack of phase B is staggered from that of phase A by an angle of 90 degree electrical. Okay, so what is said, the stator stack of phase B. Okay, this is my phase B. See, two figures I have shown. One is phase A when I'll go ahead when phase A is excited, and this is when phase B is excited. But you can see here that the stack, you can see the stator stacks of phase A and phase B. Okay, so the stator stack of phase B, okay, this phase or this figure, right, is staggered from the phase A by an angle of 90 degree electrical. Okay. Now when phase A is excited, the rotor is aligned as shown here in this. Okay, when we excite phase A, okay, this is how the rotor is aligned, right. You can see this, right. Now if the phase B is also excited, okay, when we excite phase B also, right, the effective stator poles shift counterclockwise direction by 22.5 degrees. So what I said, when we excite phase B also, the stator poles shift counterclockwise direction. Counterclockwise is this direction of rotation by 22.5 degrees, okay, causing the rotor to move accordingly. So if stator poles shift, obviously the rotor poles will move, okay, or the rotor moves, right. See, that is what is written here. Okay, so I just remove this sentence to simplify, because let me explain you a bit about this, right. Now if the two phases A, okay, is energized or say de-energized, okay, the phase B will still be energized. Okay, we'll see here, right, what I said, if two phase, okay, A is de-energized, okay, with B, phase B still energized, the rotor will move another rotor will move by another 22.5 degrees. Okay, so the reversal of the phase A winding current will produce further forward movement. Okay, if I reverse the phase winding of phase A, what happens now? The phase B will be still energized, so this causes the forward motion of the rotor or stator stack by 22.5 degrees, and so on. So it is easy to visualize as to how the direction of movement can be reversed. It means movement of direction which can be reversed is easier, right, and you can visualize it, right. I hope it is clear here, right. So to simplify the switching arrangement, okay, which is accomplished electronically, double coils are provided for each phase. It means phase A is having 2 coils and phase B is having 2 coils. Okay, so you can see here, right? This is phase A, which is having 2 coils, and this is phase B, which is having 2 coils, and this movement of reversing is obtained electronically. You can see, okay, is accomplished electronically. Okay, so this figure is the switching arrangement for a 2-phase permanent magnet type stepper motor. Alright, so if I compare this with the previous one which we had done, the variable reluctance motors, the typical permanent magnet stepper motors operate at higher steps, okay, up to 90 degree and at maximum response rates of 300 pps. Okay, so this is all about permanent magnet type rotors, right? Just go through this and analyze. Okay, so just to revise what I said, this is phase, phase A. Okay, this figure is when phase A is excited, okay, and this figure is when phase B is also excited. So when phase A is excited, right, the rotor aligns like this. Okay, how it is shown. See, this is my rotor. Okay, this is my rotor, so it is aligned in this way. Okay, now when phase B is also, see, this is case 1 when phase A is only excited. Okay, the case 2 when phase A is already excited, now phase B also gets the excitation. So what happens, the rotor aligns itself in anti-clockwise, it rotates in anti-clockwise direction and attains this position. This position is attained when the rotor moves by an angle of 22.5 degrees. Okay, so similarly the step size here is 22.5 degrees when we energize A and then we energize B, or when phase A is not energized or de-energized but still phase B is energized. So I can have either in clockwise direction or I can have the rotation even in the clockwise direction. Okay, but the step size remains 22.5, okay, 22.5 degrees, right? I hope this part was clear, right? So now we'll continue with the features of stepper motor. Okay, the very first feature of a stepper motor is its small step angle, right? So the angle by which the rotor of a stepper motor moves when one pulse is applied to the input or stator is called the step angle. Okay, it means the angle by which you have a stator to which we give the input, okay, and inside the stator you have the rotor. Okay, so the angle by which the rotor of a stepper motor moves, okay, the angle, okay, angle, as I said, it can be 7 degrees, it can be 9 degrees, it can be 22.5 degrees. Okay, these are my steps. So the angle in which the steps in which the rotor moves, right, when only one pulse is given to the stator is called as small step angle. Okay, so this is expressed in degrees. I told you, right, 7 degrees, 9 degrees, 22.5 degrees, right? The resolution of positioning of the stepper motor is decided by the step angle. Okay, smaller the step angle, the higher is the resolution of positioning of the motor, right? The step number of the motor is the number of steps it makes in one revolution, right? Right, with this, what is meant by the small step angle, right? So the stepper motors are realizable for very small step angle, right? That is the advantage of the stepper motors, right? Some precision motors, right? Some precision motors are there which can make steps of 1000 in one revolution with a step angle of 0.36 degrees, right? So a standard motor will have a step angle of 1.8 degrees with 200 steps in one revolution, right? The step angles of 90 degree, 45 degree, 15 degree are not uncommon, okay, in simple motors, right? I hope you understand what is meant by small step angle and a step, okay? Step is different, step angle is different. Clear? Right? So this is the first feature of the stepper motor, right? Next feature is the high positioning accuracy, right? So the quality, see what is meant by, see it's written here, in any application the stepper motors are expected to rotate by step angle when a pulse is given as input. It should come to rest in a precise position, okay? So the high positioning accuracy means the quality of a stepper motor, okay? The quality of a stepper motor which is decided by the positioning accuracy. So this accuracy of the positioning is very significant factor, right? See, the positioning accuracy depends on the machine characteristics and the driving circuit, while the other electronic parameters have no effect on positioning accuracy, okay? What it means, what if you are using any switches, you are using any IGBT, you know, the driver circuit, those all do not have effect on the positioning circuit. It only depends on the machine characteristics, right? The stepper motors are designed to have very simple restoring torque when the rotor is displaced following the load torque, right? So a care must be taken in designing and manufacturing of a stepper motor, as the accuracy at no load depends on the physical accuracy of the stator and the rotor, okay? So remember, machine characteristics is important, so care has to be taken while designing and manufacturing of a stepper motor. Right, with this what is meant by high positioning accuracy, right? Next feature is high torque to inertia ratio, right? So a stepper motor must have or must move fast response to a pulse or a train of pulses, right? Fast response is also associated with quick start and quick stop of a motor, right? The motor must be capable of stopping at a positioning or position specified by the last pulse of the pulse train, if the train is inhibited when the motor is running uniformly, right? A stepper motor must have large ratio of torque to inertia, right? See, inertia is what? Moment of inertia. Torque, you all understand, right? Force in angular direction. So at specified torque, your motor must be able to quick start and quick stop. That is why it is written here the fast response, right? See, the motor must be capable at a position specified, okay, specified position of the pulse, okay? So this is what is meant by high torque to inertia ratio, where a stepper motor must have large ratio of torque to inertia, right? The next feature is stepping rate and pulse frequency, right? The speed of a stepper motor is indicated by the number of pulses per second, right? So stepping rate of the motor is therefore used to indicate the speed, right? Understand these two lines first. The speed of a stepper motor is indicated by the number of pulses per second, right? So depending on this statement, what I am saying is stepping rate of a motor is therefore used to indicate the speed, right? As the motor moves one step for a pulse, the speed can also be indicated by the pulses per second as pulse frequency. Okay, this is what is your pulse frequency, right? What it is written as the motor moves by one step. One step is what? Degrees, either step and step angle. Okay, so if it is 22.5 degrees, right, that is your step. For a pulse, the speed can also be indicated, right? It means for 2 pulses it would move for 45 degrees. Okay, so this is defined as pulse frequency. So the absolute rotational speed and stepping rate, if I want to relate the rotational speed and step rate, then I would be including in my equation the step number S, okay, and the stepping rate F. Okay, step number and stepping rate. So I relate these two with the help of equation where n RPM is equal to 60 into stepping rate divided by step number. So S is my step number. Okay, right? So these are 4 characteristics of the stepper motor, right? With this, now we'll move on to the advantages and disadvantages of stepper motor, right? So let me first highlight the advantages, right? The first thing is these are compatible with digital systems and do not require digital to analog conversion, right, at the input, I mean, right? Because when we compare it with the servo motors or conventional servo motors, we use digital systems or a computer, right? So here we do not require all this in my stepper motor. Okay, so next one is wide range of step angles is available. Okay, off the shelf, if I say in the range of, I have it from 1.8 to 90 degrees, right, the step angles. The range of torque is from 1 micro Newton meter to 50 Newton meters. Okay, starting from your wristwatch where you use stepper motor to the machine tool applications, right? This type of motor has the wide range of step angles available, right? The next important advantage is its bidirectional control of speed, right? So bidirectional control of speed is available in the stepper motors. Next, maximum torque occurs at low pulse rates, right? So the stepper motor can therefore accelerate its load very easily as compared to my conventional servo motors, right? Low speeds, next advantage is low speeds are possible without reduction gear, right? Next is moment of inertia is usually low. Okay, moment of inertia of the stepper motors is usually low, because of which I get an advantage of the last feature. Okay, what was my last feature? Sorry, not last feature, the feature where I highlighted high torque to inertia ratio. Because of its low moment of inertia, I get fast response of the stepper motor, right? Next advantage is its starting current, which is very low. Okay, next, if I use multiple stepper motors, right, which are driven from the same source, right? These can maintain perfect synchronization. That is important advantage or of the stepper motors, right? Now highlighting about the disadvantages, right? Its efficiency is low as compared to my servo motor or any other motor, right? Next, proper matching between the load comma motor and the drives is required, right? And here resonance can be a problem, right, with what we had done the first type of stepper motor, which is variable reluctance motor. Okay, see, reluctance is coming into picture, right? It means resonance has to come into picture, right? So these are the advantages and disadvantages of stepper motors, right? Okay, thank you. So just to have a review what we have done today, we started with the permanent magnet stepper motor, right? Its working we discussed, right? I showed you the switching circuit where we have two coils provided, right? Two coils provided for each phase, right? This was the switching arrangement where I had two coils for each phase and a electronically controllable circuit I have, right? Next we went on with the features of stepper motor where we discussed a small step angle, the high positioning accuracy, the high torque to inertia ratio, and stepping rate and pulse frequency, right? Followed by this we ended our topic with seeing the advantages and disadvantages of stepper motors, right? So this completes this topic. Next topic, the small part is left out where we'll be seeing the drive circuits for the stepper motors, right? Thank you.